Good morning, my name is Arias, and I'm a bike messenger with the R.S.S.H Delivery Company. Today is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. And on behalf of Cyber FM and the R.S.S.H, we thank you for listening to today's Cybersecurity Report.
Listening to Cyber FM, hosted by Arias Thomas.
It is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. You are locked in and tuned to Cyber FM, your primary frequency for the digital frontline. I'm your host, Arias Thomas, and on the briefing desk today, we are tracking an emergency zero-day patch from FortiClient, a massive infrastructure breach at Western Digital, a critical supply chain attack involving malicious NPM packages, and a high-stakes vulnerability chain discovered in Progress ShareFile. Let's begin.
Story number 1. FortiClient issues emergency zero-day patch.
Leading our coverage, network security titan FortiClient has deployed an emergency hotfix for a critical zero-day vulnerability being actively exploited. Tracked as CVE 2026-35-616, the flaw sits within the FortiClient Endpoint Management Server, also known as the EMS. With a staggering CVSS severity score of 9.1, this improper access control bug allows unauthenticated attackers to execute remote code through specially crafted requests. While exploitation currently appears limited to sophisticated threat actors, researchers warn that with over 30,000 instances visible on the internet, the window for patching is closing fast. If you're running versions 7.4.5 or 7.4.6, your perimeter is effectively open until that hotfix is applied.
Story number 2. Western Digital sanctions shut down after network breach.
Data storage giant Western Digital is currently reeling from a network security incident that has forced the company to take several key systems offline. The breach, which was detected late last week, has impacted the company's MyCloud home services, leaving millions of users unable to access their own locally stored data via the internet. While Western Digital has not yet confirmed a ransomware demand, internal sources indicate that an unauthorized third party gained access to several of the company's internal databases. This isn't just a service outage, it's a massive blow to the personal cloud philosophy. When the gatekeeper loses the keys, your private data is the one locked behind a corporate investigation.
Story number 3. Malicious NPM packages target Redis and PostgreSQL.
In a direct hit to the developer community, security researchers have identified 36 malicious packages on the NPM registry designed to deploy persistent implants. These packages were specifically engineered to exploit Redis and PostgreSQL databases. This wasn't a random smash and grab. The attackers used sophisticated typo squatting to trick automated build systems into pulling tainted code. Once inside, the malware establishes a persistent implant, allowing threat actors to maintain a backdoor into the back end of corporate infrastructure. It's a stark reminder that your software is only as secure as the most obscure library in your stack.
Story number 4. Critical vulnerability chain in Progress ShareFile.
Finally, researchers have sounded the alarm on a dangerous vulnerability chain in Progress ShareFile by linking two separate flaws, an authentication bypass CVE 2026-2699 and a remote code execution bug CVE 2026-2701. Attackers can seize total control of the storage zone's controller. This controller is the heart of how organizations manage system files between their hardware and the cloud. Changing these vulnerabilities allows an attacker to bypass all security checks and alter system configurations at will. For any enterprise relying on ShareFile for secure document handling, this is an immediate patch or perish scenario. Today's broadcast is brought to you by the R.S.S.H Delivery Company, New York's exclusive delivery option. In an era where the cloud is increasingly a playground for threat actors, the R.S.S.H knows that some assets are simply too high stakes to send over the air. When the wire is too risky, New York trusts the R.S.S.H to move your sensitive hardware and encrypted physical data across the 5 boroughs with a guaranteed human chain of custody. Because in this city, true security isn't just a firewall, it's a hand-delivered guarantee. That is the state of the digital world for this Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. Today, we've covered the FortiClient zero-day emergency, the Western Digital infrastructure breach, the NPM supply chain infection, and the ShareFile vulnerability chain. The takeaway, whether it's your endpoint security or your private storage, the infrastructure you trust is under constant siege. When the software supply chain is poisoned and the cloud service providers are going dark, the safest path is often the physical one. This is Cyber FM. I'm your host, Arias Thomas. Stay secure.
Listening to Cyber FM, hosted by Arias Thomas.